really excited to have Keshia Hay, aka Sip and Bite, here with us.
Hi.
Oh man,
hello.
I got a little handheld camera.
Hello.
Jason's gonna be switching things around. We're gonna cook things for you.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know what to tell you, but we feel really, really lucky to have Keshia here because Keshia is somebody who actually knows what to do with ingredients and with food. But she is also an entrepreneur, someone that has made her life what she envisioned it to be. She cooks for a living. She does online cooking classes right now, right?
Yep.
Some private chefing.
Private chefing.
Lots of things. I'm going to let you say it all in your own words, but I just wanted to say how excited.
Well, I'm very excited, honestly, to be here. I've always just really appreciated the Creative Mornings community and just to kind of watch it grow over the years and knowing Colin for what now?
I don't know, man.
Right? Yeah, we go back to some fun days in the magazine world, but no, it's been really awesome and such a blessing to be able to do and be creative in my workspace. It's not easy, but I don't think that would be fun if it was easy, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
Last year, especially throughout some challenges, that was my second year actually full time in my business. So it was interesting and also had me kind of just think on my feet. You know what I mean? And doing the virtual, doing the online was just all right, this is just how we're going to have to make this happen and do the pivot.
Well,
so
appreciate you doing that. And thank you so much for being here with us today. Not easy. That's the theme of the recipe today. I feel like we probably have a lot more people sipping along with a nice warm cup of coffee, perhaps pet along with, as opposed to chefing along. But if you are chefing along today, would you put in the chat like +1, put an emoji, say, I am an awesome person? Because what we've chosen for you is we didn't just want to make eggs.
No.
Right?
No.
We wanted to actually do something that you wouldn't otherwise do. So you can learn something new today. That's what Creative Mornings is all about.
Exactly.
That's what Keshia's all about.
Exactly.
So what are we making?
So we are starting with cocktails. We're going to be making what I call a French 75, but a botanical.
Forgot.
Well, I mean,
that's honestly forgot you were starting with a cocktail.
As the gin is looking at you in your face, right? Good old Citadel. But we're going to be kind of running the gamut of what you would do for a brunch, and not necessarily overcomplicating recipes, more or less just using ingredients that you maybe would not have thought about doing, and incorporating that into your cooking. So if you're chefing along with me, that's awesome. And if you want to save this for later, that would be great. And there is the air vent.
We're gonna kill the air. The air just came on.
It's chilly enough outside.
Okay, so let's just get this out of the way.
Yeah.
It's Creative Mornings. We are doing a more ambitious shoot than we've ever done because that's our commitment to you, our community. We're currently trying to turn off the damn air conditioning. Okay, because that's just how it
this is a
here.
Go with the flow situation.
Indeed. Now, I do want you to know we have talked about some of the important things. Keshia and I have had our conversation about COVID safety.
Yes.
And you need to know that's managed and has been done in a professional way. Everybody here on the production team is masked up and distant, and we are in an absolutely massive warehouse type space. So
we all feel safe.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's start cooking.
So, it's Friday. It's your birthday. We're going to do cocktails first. And so if you have had the pleasure before 2020 to be able to sit at the bar and watch the bartender make these really beautiful cocktails, I'm sure you would then be familiar with what they would call like a traditional egg white, sour, or fizz. So we're going to kind of play off of that. And starting with a dry shaker. So you want to, just so that they know, it's very important to have this dry in order to emulsify our egg. So
Jason does not yet trust me with this handheld camera, and I'm going to be honest, he's right to not trust me. But I'm getting in here and learning as I go. I'm sorry. I've always seen people do this on cooking shows and have just felt like that's not for me.
Separating the egg. I mean, you just gotta
Yeah, you
It's
just
just a
gotta like
little boat of confidence.
have fine motor skills that some of us just
Yes.
come born with. Yeah,
And
I
I'm
get it.
actually, we're going to nestle that there. Boom. And so this is a great just kind of way if you are wanting to be more ambitious on your bar setup to be able to do those, traditional style cocktails. It's not that hard, right? So you got egg white, and I have reserved the egg yolk for what we're going to do later. So, and you just tell me, which camera should I be looking
it's
at?
hard to tell. We're doing
Right?
everything for the first time, right? So
Mostly with your hand.
mostly
My hands. So be looking at,
mostly talking.
I can see you. I can see you. Perfect. So
And then
in the
I'll just
shaker.
snap at you when I'm live. How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate directors'
Mm.
information. So dry shaker, egg white, it's going right in there. And what's going to be happening is I'm just going to start creating just like a foam. So if you like ever make meringues or anything at home with like a little whisk, I'm kind of doing just like a little bit of a softer version of that just by dry shaking. And that just brings
Shaking. And I'd like to say, look at this behind the scenes view that we're giving you. Here at Creative Mornings, we promise you we'll never be too polished. There's Jonathan over there on the ones and twos.
Yes.
He's just
Okay.
getting us all done.
So just so that you can see,
I got you.
you've got that like just the start of the little bubbles of our little egg white kind of foam meringue type situation. And then we're going to go in with fresh citrus. Now, you can use sour mix. I try not to do that just because I like to control my sour and my sweet. And I just feel like fresh is better. I mean, why not? We're in the
The way that
spring.
you cut with that knife is so confident. You actually cut the label in half.
Because they are freshly sharpened. Thank you to my knife guy. He is awesome. And I'm just going to squeeze
She's got a
directly
knife
right
guy,
into the
folks.
glass. Yes. Yeah. So I'm starting non-alcoholic first, and then I'm going to work my way up. Only because I don't want to waste product if there is an eggshell, or say, for instance, my balance is off with my sour, and I'm not having to toss all of my alcohol after the fact, right?
Or
So
if the energy's just off in the room. you know?
yeah, or it could just, yeah, exactly. Or you could have bad lemon.
Bad
that's not
lemon.
a bad lemon.
Yeah, is that why they call cars lemons? Because a lemon can look fine on the outside, but
And
then not
be
be fine?
kind of janky on the inside.
Is that a technical chefing term, Janky?
I mean, it can be. It can be.
Got
There's no rules, right? There's no rules. So if you were able to then make your, but if you do want a little just kind of step by step, I also have it to be made over here. So if you want to follow me
Oh,
on
I'm
this,
made to follow.
this great induction burner.
Okay, can we just explain to the people what an induction burner is? 'Cause
Yes.
That's the coolest thing of all time.
So it's essentially, you have to have a certain type of bottom to your saucepan.
We learned
And
that earlier.
yes, and that's how, when it's making contact, that's how it's going to make the surface hot, and in order to be able to cook or whatnot. And it's great because the surrounding areas are not hot. So if you have kids that like to touch, then they're not getting burned, right? So I have started here. I'm doing like a 1-to-1 ratio on the simple syrup. I have a half a cup of my sugar that's got dried rose petals, rosemary, mint, lavender. Because it's botanical, I'm kind of equal out flowers and herbs. And then I've got a half a cup of water that I'm just going right in here. So you can make your own simple syrups at home with any kind of infusions that you like, versus having to buy it at the store.
See,
right?
for me, I was always kind of intimidated by this concept of infusions, but I'm realizing now
It's not that hard.
it's just putting stuff in stuff and waiting.
That's it. Sugar,
Okay.
water, extra ingredients, whatever type of cocktail you want to make. I mean,
And as always at Creative Mornings, don't forget the final ingredient, love.
love and confidence, right?
Confidence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So when you see all those really cool bottles at the bar, that's all they're doing, sugar and water. Now, depending on, the proportions of sugar to water, you can have syrups that are a little bit thicker than others, depending on the actual sugar that you use. Like a brown sugar, you're going to get a little bit more of like a molasses or a little bit more of like a warming spice style syrup. But I've literally am just stirring until the sugar dissolves and letting it steep for a second. It doesn't need to be boiling or anything like that. It just needs to steep just long enough to get those flavors permeating throughout the syrup. And so we're gonna let that hang out, easy peasy.
That is easy.
back to
You make it
the
look
pre-made
easy.
syrup. I mean, you know.
I feel in this moment like I do when I watch the Food Network. I could do anything.
Exactly. And that's kind of where so I'm self-taught and learning by watching, being a visual person, sitting down and looking at a recipe. I have to actually see what you're doing and put my hands on it. You know what I mean? So that's how I like to roll. And so for my ingredients, just so that we can kind of be on track with that, I've got my shaken egg white, my lemon juice. We'll say that's about a half an ounce. I'm gonna do a half an ounce of my simple syrup, and I'm not necessarily gonna strain it.
She's clearly not even going to measure it.
I am
folks.
not.
That's how you know she's a professional.
I used to bartend a long time ago.
Is
So I am
that
all about
so?
that free pour.
Where'd you bartend?
At Bellamy Country Club for 5.5 years.
No way.
Mhm.
I also worked at a country club for
Yes.
a minute. It was about 9 months. They couldn't handle me longer than that.
It's, listen, it is a big difference between bartending downtown and bartending for country club members. It's a whole different attitude, but it's all learning in the same. As long as they're happy with booze in their hand, you're good to go.
I'm not even going to ask you about the tips. I'm not even going to ask you about tips. We're going to move right on.
I wouldn't. So, so because we're doing a French 75, I'm using a French gin, but you can use whatever type of botanical driven or dry gin to make the cocktail. And so again, I'm going to free pour, and it's going to be about 1.5 ounces.
Just going to pour that right in there. What do you know?
I know, right? I said it's Friday, so we're going to start.
Everybody in the room had a physical reaction.
Yes.
Jason, give me. Switch over to this handheld, Jason. Yes.
And ice, right? I can from here,
Get in
right?
there. I mean, well, we have no idea, ladies and gentlemen, if this ice machine
Oh, that
works.
is water.
That's water.
There we go. So ice in the shaker. And so the awesome thing about doing the egg white, now you don't have to put egg white in your cocktail if you're vegan or if you're worried about any of those weird things. The good thing is that the egg white is actually cooked with the citrus. It's, it's cooked. There's nothing bad in there. They do have a vegan alternative that's like drops, or you can use aquafaba, which will give you the same. Aquafaba. So it's
I think she made that up.
it's garbanzo bean water. Yeah.
Aquafaba. Oh.
And you can whip that up like a meringue.
So I've had some garbanzo beans in my pantry for, I shit you not, 3 years.
I'm telling you.
And now I know exactly what to do with
You
them.
can use that. And so now we're ready to pour.
Ready to pour?
Right? We're ready.
I'm not ready. She's ready.
I'm ready.
Oh man, I'm getting so good at this.
So
He's not
what
using my camera angle, but I'm getting good at it.
is going to happen is you're going to just kind of shake, and you're going to get that foam right on top. And it just makes your cocktail really nice and silky. It goes down really smooth, almost too smooth. It goes pretty quickly.
Ooh.
A little bit more.
This is
of
the
a
handy
shake.
cam. This is the office style
Yes.
shooting, Parks and Rec.
And then we're going to top it with some bubbles because
Are we really?
it's extra boozy and it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's
so,
party like it's our birthday.
Right. Oh, hello.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. I want everybody watching at home to know nothing but net. She threw that cork right in that trash can. That's more bartender stuff, really. Oh man.
So just a tiny bit, just because with how my flute is, you don't want it doesn't need to be overflowing, but you have a really nice kind of foam head right on top. Some people like to go with like a little bitters and make a little decoration. You don't have to do all of that if you don't want to. But I am just going to do a nice little garnish. And this is my Rosa Lapo sea salt balanced with the citrus and the syrup, just to make it, extra pretty.
Get over to me, Jason. You got to see this. There it is. Okay, focus. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Wow.
Do you want to try this?
Do I want to try
I
that?
want you to try it.
Yeah, the answer is yeah, I
go
want to
for
try that.
Go for that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there are perks to getting up at 5 a.m. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't like it. I'm just kidding. It's incredible. The spices are in my mustache,
Yes.
and I expect they'll be there for some time.
Yes.
So that's nice too. That's what they call aftertaste. No, they call that the finish.
And it's just like nice and silky, right? With the egg white.
Tell us the name of the
You want that?
So it is Botanical French 75.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Johnny, get a shot of this mustache in here.
Get it. Get all of that.
Wow.
I
So
mean,
good.
it's good
That's so
shit.
good.
It's good shit. And all the while you're sipping,
Okay, what are we doing?
I've had my water boiling for our 6-minute egg. So
Lord of
that's-
mercy, we're
so
moving
that's-
right on.
So we're moving right along. And so for
Oh.
those of you who have kind of dabbled with doing like soft boiled eggs or hard boiled
Slide.
eggs,
Untitled
starting with
Chapter.
hot water to get it boiling is like key because it makes it go a whole lot faster. And I'm just doing this just for sake of time, but
I also want to thank Christy Vergona.
yeah, oh my
at
God.
Hello, dear Christina Grace, for this custom hand lettered thing. And I'd like to thank Jason Mazzo for making it wider on the
Beautiful.
sides.
Christy, looking incredible hand lettering.
Out of nowhere.
She's amazing. Yeah, so I've had my water boiling, and because we have an induction burner, it happens pretty quickly here. But if you've got just like gas, obviously, starting with hot water, letting your water boil, just kind of heated that up a little bit so that it can give me a nice rapid boil in order for me to drop my eggs. And see, it took no time. Look at that.
I mean,
It's crazy.
that's very fast.
It's crazy.
So you sort of had a little preheat going.
I had a little preheat going.
Okay.
And
I
s-
remember from high school science
Yeah.
class,
Mm.
water has a very high specific heat, meaning
Yes,
it
it
takes a
does.
lot of energy to
It
change the
does.
temperature of water.
It does. And you can't watch it or else it'll never boil.
Oh,
Ever.
no, that's true. A
Yeah.
watched pot never boils.
Never.
We try not to say never or always here at Creative Mornings, but sometimes it applies.
So I am, and I've just lost just a little bit of water just with evaporation, but that's okay because I'm gonna cover. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, that's interesting. Hello. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. So I'm covering that up so that it can boil. And I'm setting my timer, which is very, very important for a 6-minute egg. You want it exactly on 6 minutes. You can kind of fudge it and do 7 minutes, depending on how much your water has boiled. But we've got that happening here. And while it is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and get my pot or my skillet coffee ready to go
Oh,
and get it nice and hot.
That is a skillet, not a pot. You
It
silly
is.
goose.
It is. Because we're going to do charred veggie hash.
I just like the viewers at home to know that that's my skillet. And,
It is.
Mm-hmm. And
Well, it's perfect for this.
Well, I thought so.
So while my
Kinda proud.
eggs are boiling, my skillet dry is getting nice and hot. And I've got it dry on purpose because I'm going to create that nice char sear.
Okay.
So while all of these things are happening and all the noises of the induction burner are happening, I'm just going to start cutting up my vegetables.
So while you're cutting your vegetables,
Mhm.
settle a dispute in my
Okay.
household.
All right.
I've been told not ever to heat a skillet without some sort of oil or something in it, because it might be bad for the skillet and warp the skillet.
So
is this
if
true?
it's cast iron, you're absolutely fine to heat it without oil because it's been seasoned, so it has a little bit in there. If you're using stainless steel, I would go in just with a brush of sunflower oil. But I'm like wild west, and I just kind of just let it happen. But yeah, I would be very careful if you've got, some just like really, really nice all clad or whatnot. Do add just a little bit of oil, but I'm going in dry because this has a cast iron kind of coating on the outside.
It's really just, I think, kind of medium range non-stick. I don't know if
Yeah.
that changes things for you.
It
It
doesn't.
was key for me, the price point and purchasing the skillet, very important element of the skillet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So with my veggies, I'm just doing more of like medium size, I guess, rough chopped. If you want to
Oh,
get a little vision of that.
that is a rough chop.
Yeah.
I'm
And
always tempted, you know how an onion kind of stays in its little lobes? I'm always
mhm,
tempted to go in there and squeeze them apart, you know?
just kind of separate them out a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. And what I'm using just for veggie hash, nothing necessarily like you don't have to have anything specific. I'm just kind of was doing like a little bit of a refrigerator clean out because, COVID, we're grocery shopping more,
Mhm.
eating more at home. So whatever vegetables that you have, honestly, are going to work best. If you're doing potatoes, it's best that you boil those off first before you then go in with the sear.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah. So I've got this like little baby zucchini that I got from Trader Joe's because I live at Trader Joe's.
I
Shameless plug for Trader Joe's.
I did not know that. If you need a place to stay,
Yes, you can come stay
you
with
just
me
ask.
at the TJ's. So I've got a little rainbow carrot also because we're trying to be somewhat healthy if we're going to have.
I like the colorful carrots.
I do
Different
too.
colored carrots.
Yeah.
They definitely have different flavors, do they not?
They have different flavors, and it's the like something like our little purple carrot. The same. What is it? It's not necessarily a protein, but the same thing that makes a berry blue or purple or whatnot is the same thing that's making that color in the rainbow carrot. It's really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like carrot's very sweet. It's got a lot of sugar in there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little fruity.
And it's healthy for you. I mean, it's good for your eyes, right? So I'm just kind of just doing a little range of vegetables. Nothing, like I said, super specific. So I've got some mushrooms, we've got carrots, and I'm keeping them relatively around-ish the same size, which is really important for cooking if you want even cooking. If you have like tiny little dices and then big chunks, they're going to cook at different times.
That makes sense.
And some might burn and others.
Now, I should
will be
say,
undercooked.
if you're like me, this is the part in the cooking demo where you start to fall behind. I'm not a professional chef with knife skills. They told me in the recipe it's 15 minutes of prep. I just triple that. But we're going to give you a chance to catch up here in a few minutes.
Yes, we are.
We're going to take a little break in the middle while some things kind of heat and such. So if you're falling behind, don't worry. We're
Don't
gonna let
worry.
you catch up.
This is, again, nice and super cash. You've got a timer going, so you know that your eggs are going to be fine. You've got your hot pan situation happening for your veggies, and you've got a cocktail to keep you company, right? I hope.
I've been drinking.
Yeah.
I've been continuing.
You've been
to
drinking.
drink
You've been drinking.
on a nearly empty stomach, I might add.
Oh,
So this could get really good.
you're gonna be feeling great here in a second.
Do y'all also hear that pot just rattling? The lid on that pot is just trying so hard to jump off.
Beautiful.
I'm sure my mic is picking that up. This is really a good drink.
Do we like it?
Yeah, it's so good. I am not kidding.
And just to answer your question from earlier, gin is an everybody drink. And by earlier when we were setting
Gin
up,
is for everybody.
gin is for everybody.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
I was looking up some gin facts, and one of the pre-populated questions Google had, people are like, where's gin from? What is gin made of? How is it made? Its top suggested question for me was, is gin a woman's drink? Yeah. I clicked on that one.
I'm just curious to see who actually wrote and asked that question.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and ask you my gin fact or fiction question then.
Okay.
You're gonna tell me fact or fiction. Ooh,
Okay.
time's going off. Okay. Gin, fact or fiction, men like gin more than women.
Fiction.
We survey people, hey, what's your favorite spirit? So you think men liking gin more than women is a fiction?
I think it's fiction because I think we like it equally depending on how it is made in a cocktail.
I should have stopped you right at fiction because you had it. Absolutely fiction.
Yeah.
Women actually like gin twice as much as men do.
We do?
Yeah. 26% of women in this one random study that I'm sure was not scientific said that gin was their favorite spirit compared to 13% of men saying gin was their favorite spirit.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Again, I just think it's all in cocktail application. Is it sweet, savory? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess they equate gin with like floral and kind of fruity.
Yeah, gin
You know.
is that way for me.
Wow.
Okay, one more gin fiction or fact,
All
unless
right.
we need to move forward with our cooking.
Well, I was just gonna
You tell us
say,
about
just
these
really
eggs.
quick.
Oh,
So
shoot.
eggs, the timer right at the 6-minute mark, and I dunked them right in the ice bath, which is very, 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 very important if you want that center to be nice and jammy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is 4 berries.
Yes.
If you want that egg to be just right,
Yes.
get it in that ice bath.
And that is the importance of your mise en place, to just have everything ready to go so that you are ready from pot to bowl,
Mise en
just ready to
place.
go.
She said mise en place.
Mise en place. I did.
Oh,
Did. I took French for 6 years, and there's only so many words now that I remember. That is definitely at the top of my list all the time.
I've ever tweeted involves the term mise en place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've pointed out that it's a really fancy term for a really simple concept.
Have your shit together.
Have your shit together.
That's it.
Get your damn veggies out.
Get your damn
That's what
veggies
mise en
out.
place means.
Yes.
But you can say mise en place and people think you're fancy.
Yes.
I think
Because
these
you
kinds
are.
of things are important in life.
They are.
Yes, to know how to level up without really making any effort.
Exactly.
So another gin fact or fiction for you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
The first known food pairing with gin was gingerbread.
Huh. Where are you getting these facts?
Google.
Google.
Yeah, it's a fact, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone in the 1700s was like, you know what would go great with this gin? Gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
And then, for some reason, somebody wrote that down, I guess. Here was
was
tonight's
important.
menu.
It was important to
And
know.
it made it all the way to Google 2021.
Yeah. No, it was important to know.
Because you know that's not from the oral history. Okay. What's next?
So next, I have dumped my hot water, and I'm just going to use the same pan because it is completely unnecessary to have 12 dishes out aside from your prep bowls. But whenever I'm cooking, I try to utilize some of my same pots and pans and just going right back into my same pots just to kind of help you on time and setup and all of that. So I've got my saucepan that's going to hang out here for a second. I've got my heated up pan here that my vegetables are going to go right in, just so that I can get those.
We got a good looking pile of vegetables.
Yeah, we do.
Keshia, you made real food in like
I
no time.
did. Well, I made the real food, and I want to feed you guys. So
So someone wrote in the chat, I think it was Becky, I can't read the name now. I would like the CM Food Dictionary. Entry number 1 would be infusion. Yeah,
yes,
we can do a food dictionary.
infusion.
Absolutely.
Mise en place.
Claire would purchase that dictionary. We're gonna be rich. The mise en place definition is perfect from Becky. What was Becky's mise en place definition? We lost Jonathan.
Get your shit together.
He's peeing or something, so, yeah.
You can put the dictionary on Patreon.
Heck
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Maybe we'll make a Creative Mornings food dictionary for our Patreon patrons. Quite frankly, we're hurting for content. So. I kid. Scroll up in the chat. Let's see Becky's definition for mise en place, please. Put some shit in other shit and wait. Infusion. Mise
I
en
love that.
place, have your shit together.
Yes.
Yeah, this is great. I really hope my mom's not watching today.
She probably is. She's proud. She's proud of you.
My boy is saying the S word on television.
We're proud.
Mom, this isn't television, it's just the internet. It's not like it's forever.
Looks pretty close to TV to me.
Yeah, this does look a little bit like TV. When we were designing this event, I told Keshia I wanted a clueless morning show host energy emanating from me and her to be the put upon expert. And that's how I feel like when Good Morning America, they have like Bobby Flay on there.
Mhm.
And he's like, yes, I'm going to teach you some things that I learned over decades of experience. And they're like, are you telling me there's more than one kind of salt, Bobby Flay?
Don't buy it.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but that's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. So vegetables, I just seasoned, good 3 pinches of salt, season high so that you can cover all of your surface. And then my lavender pepper spice blend. Yes.
Lavender pepper.
Lavender pepper. Because I put florals in everything.
I'm ready for prime time, Jason.
I
You can
mean-
use my angle more.
You know, I'm ready for this. There it is.
Hello. Lavender pepper. Yes. So this is a new little something that I'm going to be getting into, launching small batch kitchen provisions.
I'm gonna be. Oh, you're
Yeah.
launching a small batch kitchen provisions
Yes.
line.
Yes. Starting with spices. And again, because I infuse florals into everything, naturally, lavender pepper is one of the first. And then Rosalepo sea salt, if you want to get a
Snap.
little shot of that.
I was just gonna say.
This looks remarkably like something I've seen in Jonathan's living room. Okay, here, let's see it, he said.
Yes.
I've never.
That cocktail away from college.
It's truth serum. It's truth serum.
It's sage. No.
No,
What's in here?
oregano.
Oregano.
It
Oh.
does not look like
Grown-up oregano.
anything but pepper to me.
Mhm.
This,
I'm gonna be
yes.
quite honest, this looks like my living room.
And mine. So while that is hanging out, we're gonna start our brown butter in the saucepan. I'm gonna
Okay.
put this. Let's get this going.
So brown butter. The
Yeah.
concept is what? You just brown some butter.
So I'm just browning butter. So if you've ever melted butter and left it on the stove just a little too long and it starts to smell kind of like nutty, kind of like, oh shit, I forgot that was there, and it turned color. So it's brown butter. And it actually is amazing. As long as it doesn't burn, you are golden.
You want brown butter.
You want
not
brown.
burned butter.
You want exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
These smells right now, though. Already, these smells.
Right.
Should I give this a shake? I want to.
You can give it a shake. Yeah, please shake it.
Did you guys see that? That was pretty good.
That was
right?
very. I like the little flip
baby.
of the hand. Do
Oh.
it. Do it. Do it.
Oh,
See? Yes.
oh, they needed a little
Oh,
shake.
yes.
Okay.
Look, and you see,
I think I
How
turned
we've
it back
got-
over.
we've got the nice little charred bits,
Oh,
and that's with no oil on this pan. It's nonstick, but if you've got, like I said, cast iron or your stainless steel, you need to put just a little bit of oil down, but super hot pan. And you can also do this in the oven if you don't want to do it on the stove. I take a cookie sheet with no parchment, no silpat, put that in a 400-degree oven and let that get really, 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 really hot. And you can throw your vegetables on there and it'll give it a really nice sear. Restaurant tip.
Sear.
Yes.
That's going in the dictionary.
Yes.
That is
S-E-A-R.
SEAR. Sear.
Spelling.
Noun.
Like the department store.
Yes.
Verb.
But without the S.
It's a
without the
verb
S
or
on
a
the
noun
end.
or an adjective, really. Sear.
Right.
We
Nice.
didn't discuss the parts of speech.
We didn't. But that's okay.
Well, people are liking it. They're saying looking good.
Do we
You're
like
a
it?
pro.
Look at Colin, you're a pro. Is this all it takes? You know, I'm not getting paid for this. Right? No one's getting paid today. That's the Creative Mornings promise. Everybody's here out of the goodness of their own heart.
Yes, it is. So because we're on induction burning, this is happening a lot quicker as far as like our butter melting, and it's going to start eventually browning. You'll see it'll change colors on like the outer rim, and then you'll actually be able to smell it. Like I said, it will have like a really nice kind of nutty aroma.
There we go. Got this camera to focus.
Yes.
Wow, it's turning brown pretty quick.
Yep.
There are a lot of big bubbles happening.
And I love doing brown butter for my popcorn. I love doing it whenever I'm getting ready to bake. You can brown your butter, set it to the side, and let it solidify again and make buttercream. Brown butter, buttercream. It's like liquid gold.
Yeah.
For a baked potato or sweet potato, brown butter for your sweet potato. And it's just the fat solids are browning.
Okay.
That's essentially what's making the brown butter, right?
Wow, look at this thing just blooming.
Elise is asking if you'd normally do this on low and take it up slow.
You can do it on low and take it up slow. Yes. Yes, you can absolutely do that, especially if you're batching out a lot. I'm used to doing several pounds of butter at a time. So just for the sake of not just scalding it all the way, low and slow is always a good idea. And so it is getting there.
Mm-hmm. Come on, focus. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It is getting there. And you'll see like towards the bottom. So I don't know if you can smell it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see and smell
Those
a
little
bit of
brown
browning.
bits. Yeah.
We're using all of our senses.
So for this, I did about 1/4 of a cup of butter. Yes. But again, if you kind of go with like a couple of pounds of butter and just, make that already and just kind of have it, to the side, then we can then measure out for using it for your Hollandaise, and you can have the rest of the brown butter for another cooking
Yeah, I just want
project.
everyone to see that Christy and Amanda are both taking notes.
I expect for you to do this later, and I want to know how it works out. Seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh, it's getting brown.
it's like kind of
folks.
like that just slight gold,
wow.
right?
Oh, wow.
How pretty that is.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. And I've just turned the heat off on my vegetables just to kind of let those hang out. That way they don't have to be charbroiled, but just nice and roasted enough. And I like a little texture to my vegetables, so I'm not going to cook them down to death. I don't know why people do that sometimes, but it happens. It happens.
Elise says, "Oh yeah, and I burn everything." LOL.
Hey, at least you stand by that, and you're fine.
Elise,
Yes.
love you. I'd like to hear in the chat, what is the fanciest thing you've ever made or the most esoteric little ingredient you've ever made? We'll include esoteric in the dictionary. Like, what is, did you ever make your own botanical simple syrup before? Have you browned butter before? Like, I'm trying to think. I did something. like
Happy
this
accident.
Happy accident.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, happy little birds.
Brown butter equals liquid gold. Jonathan, make sure you hit
Yes,
save chat
It
before we're
does.
done.
Okay.
I got into croissant making during the pandemic.
Oh.
Jacob,
Oh, yes, that is super ambitious.
sir.
Yes.
I made ketchup once because I was too lazy to go to the store. Tomato paste, vinegar, and sugar. Becky, I'm not sure if lazy is the word you were looking
That's
for.
amazing.
Yeah, we may have
Actually.
to include that in the dictionary.
Yes, just get you some little containers and bottle that up.
Yeah, because I'm definitely thinking going to the store is lazier than I'll make ketchup from scratch.
Hey, I'm not mad at that at all.
All right,
So
what's next, Keish?
now our butter is browned, right? And I'm just letting it hang out to the side. So that egg
Sure.
yolk that we had earlier from our egg white,
Oh, yeah.
again, not throwing any of the parts away except for the shell, but I like to save the shell and use that for my garden. So an egg yolk, taking a little bit of Dijon mustard. And here's the thing.
Ooh.
I am very much how I cook is a pinch here. This feels right. My ancestors told me to stop at this point type thing versus tablespoon, teaspoon. But if it's absolutely necessary for you to have those measurements, 1 egg yolk, and we'll say about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And this is for our brown butter Hollandaise.
Okay, so that's about a teaspoon, kids.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, if you've ever gone out for brunch, had a really nice eggs Benedict, really beautiful Hollandaise, now you can make it at home instead, right? Because we're not going out, really.
No, we're
for
staying in.
brunch.
In
We're
fact,
staying
I
in.
had to move over here back towards my drink.
Yes. Get back to the drink. Yes.
Oh, I forgot. We asked people what they were cooking in the chat. Did we get anything good, Jonathan?
I mean, we've got a tuna. I don't know how to say that.
Tuna melt.
Miso?
Niçoise.
Ooh, niçoise,
A
yes.
tuna niçoise salad.
So good.
Oh, I believe it's pronounced niçoise.
Niçoise.
Yes, that's it.
Niçoise.
Claire, I can't help but notice, Claire, you missed the cedilla on the bottom of the C. If you're on a Mac, you can just hold that C down and you'll get options.
Yeah.
Claire didn't like that.
Mhm.
She did not like that.
No,
No.
but Claire, you don't have to be here, Claire.
So what I've done,
She found it.
giving Colin the bird.
Epic.
Epic.
That's like a C giving me the middle finger.
Oh my God.
Niçoise.
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 Yes.
My niçoise, my niece.
So what I've gotten so far, I've mixed up my egg yolk with the Dijon mustard. I did a little squeeze of lemon juice, but we can say about a teaspoon and a half of lemon juice just for acid, and a little splash of vinegar. And with my cooled down brown butter, We're gonna do a little double action here. Unless you feel confident and giving me a slow stream of butter. How do you feel about?
Not good.
You
at
don't
all.
feel
I
good
think we
about
should
it?
Do it for sure.
That is, thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
And so, I
Oh,
don't know if you want to
beautiful.
get this, but I'm just whisking slowly, and you can do this in a blender. And just like the most important thing is just kind of like a slow stream so that your egg doesn't cook, doesn't break,
Get in
doesn't
here, Jason.
curdle.
Let's get the slow stream. I'm getting really good with this handheld camera.
So kind of like how you would make like a dressing where you add your oil. That's what I'm doing with your hollandaise.
Oh, as we all know.
Yes, and it'll start to get thick, which is what you want.
So it's cooking just enough.
Just enough. It's, you know, not, I wouldn't necessarily say tempering the egg, but you know, that's what it's doing.
Well, I was having fun with the hand until it died.
Until it does.
That's okay.
So at this point, I think we were gonna take just a moment. To let people
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah, please.
Let's see how we're doing on time.
We're about.
We're almost ready to plate.
We're almost ready to play. Yeah, we're actually about on time, which is another new thing for Creative Mornings. If you've ever been to Creative Mornings Nashville, all set to finish before 10 o'clock today. So tell your boss you can make that meeting if you haven't been drinking gin already, which we obviously have. Okay, so we were just working on a little bit of Hollandaise
Yep.
situation.
And tasting.
I have some Hollandaise facts or fictions
Okay,
for you.
I like it.
Hollandaise was invented in the 1600s in France, kind of from some other sauces that were also kind of like derivative. Or
Mm-hmm.
it was derivative of the other sauces.
One of the other
True,
sauces.
invented in France in the 1600s, or fiction?
I believe that's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Got one more for you. It's named after a town in Holland called Ez.
I have no clue.
Yeah, that's fake. I
Okay.
made that up.
I'm like,
I
that
just
sounds
chopped
made
off.
up.
Yeah, I just chopped off the last half of the word there.
That sounds made up.
Okay, now we were just using an egg, and you were doing the whole boiling of the eggs and
Mhm.
everything. I have some egg facts and
Okay.
egg fictions
Hit
for
me.
you as well.
Hit me, hit me.
An average hen lays 300 to 325 eggs per year.
I believe that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They're busy.
They are busy, except for in the summertime. They don't like to.
They don't
Lay
like it
it.
when it's hot.
Something
like it
about
hot.
some. I mean, we all like it hot.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
laying eggs in the winter. That seems like a bad time.
It's so weird. A lot of my farmer friends, you know, when I don't know what it is about necessarily the temperature, but they're like, yeah, they're just not laying. They're just no egg production seems to slow down for some
So
reason.
they're laying around.
They like a nice cool.
They're not laying eggs.
calm-
They're laying around.
They're
on the
laying
couch. Okay.
around.
Another one. Fact or fiction? Brown eggs are a little bit healthier.
Fiction.
Fiction. Wow.
They're all the same.
That's a chef, ladies and gentlemen.
It's all the same.
Now, I did note that the yolk color can indicate whether they have
Yes.
more protein or more of the like micronutrients.
Yes,
that you
like their
want.
diet. So their diet, their environment definitely dictates the color and the taste of the yolk.
An example of two different yolk colors.
Yes,
Here.
that's the one I like to go for.
This one here.
Orange,
Oh,
as
yeah.
much as I can.
I noticed when you get good eggs at the farmer's market, you know, when you're getting up close to like $1 an egg, you get this.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's what you want.
This right here.
Happy chickens give
Happy
you
chickens give you these
happy
eggs.
golden eggs.
I was happy chickens.
Happy
We'll say
chickens.
less happy chickens.
I
Happy
mean,
chickens.
you know, not
They're
to knock the store bought eggs.
This is the yolk.
But if you can buy local, support your local farmer, support your local anybody.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna get
you just pulled something out of the
I
fridge.
did.
that you've been working on for a couple of days.
Yeah,
now,
for
right?
literally 48 hours.
I think it's time for that title card,
It is,
Hollandaise?
which is Gravalox.
which is Gravalox.
We are not going to waste these graphics that
Christy created, folks. These
No,
gonna
we are
be
not.
Gravalox.
Can you explain something to me?
Mhm.
We've been working with this content for weeks now.
Yes.
I still haven't figured out what grava means.
I don't honestly know what it is either.
Okay, great.
It's just a term, culinary term for cured salmon or fish.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah.
it. Cured. Excellent.
Gravalox, lox and bagel.
We're going to leave that one out of the
Yeah,
dictionary.
just I'm not gonna tell you something false. So I'm just not gonna
Okay.
engage. Yeah.
OMG,
Yep.
you guys. This fish is ridiculous.
So if you were able to do your prep, or if you feel ambitious to do it this weekend so that you have it, it is the most simplest,
Yeah.
honestly, application that you can do for fish and for just like preservation
Yeah,
in
time
general.
is the main ingredient.
Time is the absolute main ingredient. Your curing spice mix, equal parts sugar, salt, or you can go a little less sugar.
Come to me, Jason. The color is way better on this thing. Like you all ought to see this in person. This fish is both thick and translucent.
Yes.
I mean, it is a gorgeous.
And it is, again, technically cooked without
This is the color of
heat.
sunset.
It's cooked without heat.
Cooked without
Technically
heat.
Cooked, but without heat.
Yes. So with the citric acid, that's working for us. And then the salt sugar mix is curing. So,
Okay.
we have really nice charcuterie prosciutto, they've cured it dry or whatnot. So we're doing the same thing, but in your refrigerator with pressure and time as the other very important elements that you would need to cure your own fish in your refrigerator.
Okay.
And you're also being able to, when you're doing your own mix, you're controlling your salt level versus like just buying it in a pack. I think you get it for like $8, like 4 little slices. And then, it's like, what is that? What is that? Just make it at home. Make it at home. Just get a really nice piece of fish. Make sure it's deboned if you can. Ask your fishmonger or whoever at Whole Foods to take care of that for you. But I do this with sea bass and with halibut too, just for something a little bit lighter.
Oh.
And, just to kind of set you up for success, if you don't feel that confident in getting those super thin slices, put in the freezer after you've cured it, and then slice from frozen, and you'll get almost paper thin slices.
Hey, Keshia,
Mhm.
my drink's empty.
Oh, you need another one? We need
Mm.
another one. Yeah, we can make that happen.
Does everybody have extra time? We're gonna redo the drink portion of the show.
I think you're cut off, Colin.
Oh, I beg to differ.
You get to make it.
Just go.
You,
This is gonna be.
he's just going to go right in with the
Bit
shumps.
of bubbly. This. Oh my. We are all fun. Get that to the camera there. Look at that.
Get it?
We got some questions on the chat. We've been looking for questions. What do we got, Jonathan?
I have a bunch of spice mix left over. Will it last in the fridge?
spice
Your
mix
spice
sounds-
mix, you don't even have to put it in the fridge. Spice mix? Keep
Mm.
that in the pantry.
Keep it in the pantry, Peggy.
Yeah.
Peggy, thank you for your question. Thank you
Yeah.
for making your spice mix with us ahead of time.
Yeah, honestly, that is to help you for later. If you want to do this at a later time, or use it for another dish.
Jacob, who wishes there was smell-o-vision. Same
Yes.
buddy, smell-o-vision. I didn't get that it rhymes with television until I said it. Until I said it. What are tips for picking out salmon?
So that is a great question. So when I'm making something like this cured salmon, where it's nice and fatty, that's your Atlantic salmon. Obviously a really nice color. So your wild caught, the sockeye, that's going to be that super heavy, like, so if you want something on the milder end, if you feel comfortable with that. Some people don't necessarily care for farm raised, but in this case scenario, we're making our locks, you want that really nice, just kind of melt in your mouth.
This
Type
looks like it would melt
piece.
in your mouth. Look at this.
Yes.
Look at this slicing.
And, being comfortable with the fishmonger, because we are landlocked, it's not like we have a ton of options right now. But, if I know that there are some local companies that do have wild caught salmon. So, having a good relationship with them and having them, give you some of the best pieces is always nice. I know Richland Farmers Market, there's a seafood guy there.
Yeah, I want to be friends with him.
Yes.
Elise is asking, how long does the salmon need to be in the fridge to properly cure?
So you need no less than 24 hours. You can go 72 hours if you want. The longer you let it cure, the more spices permeate through your fish. And then if you're not serving it right away, pop it in the freezer and
We should be back. And that was all as planned. We planned that. So
we did plan it.
Salmon Factor Fiction, they do live 7 years.
Mhm.
But They only spawn one time, and then sadly,
They die.
yes,
Yeah.
they never get to see their children.
It's quite sad.
It's a good thing they're so delicious.
They're good parents.
Okay.
Salmon
All
fact or
right.
fiction.
Okay.
There is only one main type of Atlantic salmon, whereas there are 5 types of Pacific salmon.
I feel like that is correct.
It's true. You nailed it. Yep. There are 5 types of Pacific salmon. Most of the ones you've heard about, king salmon or Chinook salmon, sockeye salmon, all that stuff. If it says Atlantic salmon, it's from the Atlantic.
Yep.
I guess the Atlantic is just the basic bitch of oceans. I don't know. How we doing, Jonathan?
How we
We're
doing?
great.
We're live?
Doing good.
Yeah, Claire's asking what kind of knife do you use?
So
Here,
So
let's get in close on this knife.
my sweet honey buns. I had been asking for a fish knife specifically for years.
What?
So it is
Use
very, very sharp. And that way that gives me really nice kind of grazing against, and I got this at Coutelier Nash. Asia is awesome. She helped him pick out all of my knives because they were all surprises. So
Nice.
yes, and it's got a carbon steel, so it doesn't necessarily need to continue to be wet, but you see a couple spots. But we won't tell him that. We're just gonna wipe it off. Sharp knife is your best friend. Dull knives are no.
Dull knives, you get hurt.
Dull knives
because
will
you're
hurt
cranking
you.
down on stuff, right?
Yep. Dull knives at any moment, any type of knife will hurt you, and it's not okay.
There is a knife sharpener guy at the Richland Park.
That's
Farmers
my
Market. Is
guy.
that your guy?
That's my guy. His name is John.
John.
John
Yeah.
Potter.
John's the guy.
He is the sweetest man.
Let's just tell you guys about John for just a moment. Okay.
Just
John
a moment.
he's an older gentleman. He comes to the market because he genuinely enjoys sharpening knives. So he asked the people that run this farmer's market, hey, would you?
Hello, we're awake.
We are in a kitchen here. Jonathan has dropped some sort of ladle. John came to the farmer's market. Hey, would you mind if I sharpened knives for free for people at this farmer's market? And I guess they were like, that's fine. And people just started tipping him. And that's what it is. John sharpens your knives for free.
He does.
For
He
tips.
takes donations,
It's
pretty
wild.
much.
Oh, he definitely takes
And
a donation.
he will come to you.
He will take a donation.
He will come to you, pick up your knives, sharpen them, and bring them back. Or you can go to the Nashville Zoo on Mondays. Sharpening knives.
I
at
thought
the
this guy
zoo.
had a 1-day-a-week hobby.
Listen.
Turns out he's everywhere.
He loves it, and you can tell honestly, he's great.
Let's keep going.
Just the sweetest man. So I have started plating. I love
Let's
it.
get a glass for
Yeah,
Christy. Can we get a glass for the crew?
yeah.
Oh.
We need this. We
If I
need
knew he
this.
was taking it, I would have poured more. Yeah, that's okay.
So I've started with my hash at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
nice and charred, really beautiful color. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in with my salmon and these fancy schmancy tweezers.
Now, Keshia, would
Mhm.
fingers work as well?
You can use fingers.
Oh, okay,
That's fine.
great. Yeah.
That's fine. Use your fingers.
Mm.
I just use the tweezers because it makes me feel good.
It looked
I like doing things that make
It
me
looked
feel
good. It's
good.
not as efficient. You don't get to lick the tweezers like you do your fingers. The fingers pick up more
This is
for you guys. Fingers pick up more flavor. Okay.
They do.
And you're going to want to get that flavor into your face hole with your fingers.
because TV Magic. I already had some eggs
Oh, she already peeled an egg.
ready and peeled and ready to go. So you
Our
might
internet connection is unstable again, everybody. Stand by.
stand by.
Okay, and you're back. Process that's allowing you that thinly. Says Bradley. Thanks, Bradley.
Yes, in the fact that we some of that like moisture content has leached out. I use that word a lot in that one video.
Leached out.
Leached out.
You know, that's not to me the most appetizing word.
But really it's the knife. It's the knife.
I could have handed you that.
Oh,
I'm
no, you're fine.
standing here being fun.
it's the just having a really, really sharp knife just to give you, because you can slice raw that thin. It doesn't necessarily have to be cured,
Okay.
but it's the knife. So
Egg on pops.
rewind.
Yeah, you know, if
It's
I'm
the-
going to be working with food, I should probably get my apron on.
She claps it up.
Yes. Do you want to cut this egg in half?
Let's not tie it. You know.
Be quiet. Mom.
Right. So you're gonna want to get this shot,
Okay.
this overhead shot, or do you want to slice it?
Oh,
you want me to be the camera? I want
Girl,
to
I
do the
lost
camera.
my
I want to
camera.
do the
You wanna do the
camera.
camera,
Yeah,
you want me to
and you
slice?
and you get to slice it.
Here's your camera.
Okay. Am I slicing thin slices?
Nope, you're gonna slice it in half.
Oh,
down,
right in half? Oh, like a hot dog.
like a hot dog.
Hot dog style. Okay, Keisha,
Okay.
you ready for this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Jason, are we on the? Okay, this is big. Now you want to find the midpoint. And that is a jammy ass.
It's a
egg.
jammy egg.
If I do say
Now-
so.
That's because these were done ahead of time. So it's a little solidified, but that is okay. We're
I
just gonna
kinda-
go with it.
I kind of felt like I was gonna have a bigger job than that.
I mean, if we want one that oozes, because that's a good word in culinary, ooze. Yeah, that's an okay word. We'll add that to the Creative Morning Dictionary. We'll do one that,
We're gonna watch the
Should
pro
be.
absolutely peel this egg, y'all.
and that's what the ice bath is very helpful for, to give me a nice, the ice bath will help you.
If you didn't think Creative Mornings was formal, oh my goodness, look at that come
Give
on.
it a little rinse.
The room.
Speaking of,
I want you to know the production team just erupted.
that is, you said sorcerer.
Okay, I love it. I love how women are reclaiming witchiness.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Be a witch.
So, a little
Oh,
jammy,
my.
jammy egg. There's
Jammy-
that.
Jammy egg. Jason,
Yes.
I can't seem to focus.
Oh, and it's the Hollandaise.
Oh, the Hollandaise.
What what is like a Dutch accent? Is it Hollandaise?
Hollandaise. Just get it. Let's
You know,
get
we
it
have
on
an
the egg.
international audience here at Creative Mornings. I should probably just quit while we're. Oh, she brought pansies, folks. You didn't know, but we're gonna send you out to your front porch.
To your
Go
garden.
get the pansies.
You can grow these at home.
Grow these pansies.
For my COVID gardeners, you can grow little violas, pansies, edible flowers.
So pansies are edible. You can just eat these.
Mhm. As long as they're not treated, you can eat those. Garden of Babylon, you can go and buy the little starters and then
Oh,
just pick right off of that.
Gardens of Babylon.
Mhm.
Come on, be our next Creative Morning sponsor.
And
Gardens
this
of
is
Babylon.
just for,
We're gonna forget to thank you like we did at the beginning of this. Y'all get ready with more Q&A. We're gonna have a little extra time here at the end for that. Man, this is starting to look good.
So pretty.
just a little, because it's spring, yo. It's my favorite season besides fall.
Spring is fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's
It's your favorite season besides fall. So
Yes. So, skip
so
right on through
25%
summer.
of the seasons you actually like.
Yes.
got it.
And then
Wow.
lavender pepper.
That is really done. That's beautiful.
Wow.
We got a curtsy. We got a
My
curtsy.
invisible dress.
That's freaking out.
Y'all, that is
So
gorgeous.
pretty.
Well, I feel like the thing that finishes off any good morning show.
There's a little clink clink. That was three. What? Three.
Here's the Q&A.
Q&A. Here's to cured salmon.
Here's the production team, Mazzo Media.
Here's two edible flowers.
Oh, edible flowers.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Jay. I think
yeah.
that's 6.
Is that 6? We got one more.
For the 7th?
Here's to you guys.
Thank you.
Just for making this happen. I
Thank
normally
you.
am at home. Here's my ring light and my iPad. And this is like amazing just to have this space.
This
Thank
is
you,
fun.
Jesse. And y'all are awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Food Sheriff.
Oh my God.
You're awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure we have some Q&A, but while we're on the thing of thank yous, I got a little discombobulated earlier. There's a lot going on in this room. I forgot that we have glitters for
You do
each and
have
every
glitter
single one of our
signs.
sponsors. Center 615 and Studio 615.
We love you.
MW Real Estate and Jacob Jones. This is the guy, creative
that.
professional with ridiculous. Oh, you want to
I
put it
need
up here?
I need that. I need that.
Even if you're a creative professional with ridiculous freelance income, Jacob Jones can hook it up. True Color Litho, printing stuff all the damn time. They never stop. Grand Palace, printing silk screens. Amazing. Zeitgeist, an art gallery that you can go to in a safe and socially distanced way today, if you feel like it. What else is here, folks? Manuel Zeitlin Architects, or as I like to say, socialism in action. Thanks for being an employee-owned company, Manuel Zeitlin Architects. Ingram Express Services can print you big stuff, big thick signs, and has the best customers in the business, if you ask me. Lithographics,
they can print you 1,000,000 copies
Oh, they're
of something.
awesome.
And they have been with Creative Mornings Nashville longer than anybody. And we so appreciate them. Hi. Mazzo Media shoots all this stuff, and they can shoot your stuff too. They can do your webinar, your conference online. Stoked can help you figure out what you should do in that conference or whether you should design thinking people. Go Bonanza. Remember being in person, having photo booths? That's what they do. They're wonderful. Mojo Media Pros. Claire, I know I've gotten way out ahead of you, and I'm glad that Claire is caught up. She got that zeitgeist. She got that mojo. Claire Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen. Claire with the links in the chat today. Thank you.
Yes.
Go to talent.mojomediapros.com right now because they've actually got a really cool freelance / part-time opportunity for project management and design. Check them out. They will employ you. They've employed a lot of great people. Now we're back. We're plating.
Yeah.
And we got a few more questions.
We got some
Yeah,
cues?
ask away,
That's okay.
please.
So first off, how did you get your start cooking? What made you want to go full time?
So actually, in the 4th grade, went doing like from scratch cooking with my best friend, and absolutely. Oh, did I freeze?
Not
Oh, I'm not frozen.
I was telling him to bring a different.
Oh,
camera
okay.
angle.
But no, we would go. So my best friend and I would go kind of rummaging through her parents' pantry after school, trying to figure out how to make, just whatever snacks. And I remember very specific, we were wanting to make pizza, but we didn't have pizza dough or crust, pizza sauce, none of that. We found Hunt's tomato paste.
So you didn't make your own tomato paste?
No, did
Like
not make
some
our own
people.
tomato paste. Ketchup,
Yeah.
lady, I love it. But we went through and grabbed spices and we would smell them. And so to us, it was, well, if this smells like pizza, then it's probably going to taste like pizza sauce. And so that intuitive, very sensorial style of cooking. And that's when I got started. And I didn't really get into it until I got into college. I went for fashion design and merchandising and obviously did not finish with, I did, I got my degree.
Yeah, but
But-
can you kind of just show the people your hat?
Yeah.
She knows a little something about fashion.
Yes.
So.
It's my grandmother's
Oh,
Jaguar. I inherited from her.
Just realized this
approach.
Yes.
apron's on top of my mic. How am I doing, Jason?
But I
Not
went
good,
I went
huh?
full time. I went full time 2 years ago. I've been private chefing for about 7 years, and that was like side hustle. And then just took the leap, not wanting to work for anybody anymore. And now my business is 2 years old, and I won't ever look back because it just
Entrepreneur life is the way to be.
that's it.
That's a great deal. Now, Grace wants to know.
Okay, bring
Let's
it.
keep it moving. Do you
Grace!
develop your own recipes? And if so, where do you draw inspiration from?
So I draw inspiration just like any artist from everything. I feel like music, the seasons, especially I'm influenced by, and just exploring different cultures and cuisines. And as far as like recipe development, yeah, a lot of that is influenced by other cuisines, but then also, how to definitely pulling from my fashion background. When you're making clothing, you're kind of starting with just whatever random ideas, sewing, and then, presenting a garment. So for me, that's the same process of when I'm cooking, taking all those elements, going into the grocery store, going to the farmer's market and seeing something either that's just super colorful, a spice that maybe I had never worked with before and figuring out how do I, either introduce this into a recipe or make a whole recipe based off of that one ingredient. So I don't know if that answered the question properly, but
Will you be shipping your lavender pepper?
I will.
All right,
I
thank
sure
you. Be on the
will.
lookout for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can say I've had pepper that had lavender in it before, and it's beautiful. I can only imagine how good yours is.
Yeah. So lavender, I feel like I breathe. I feel like it's in my blood. Cooking.
That's another very French thing.
It is, cooking with flowers. The whole notion of incorporating it into culinary. Obviously, I saw it. You would see like orchids or violas that chefs would use in their presentation. But for me, it was how do you make it an element of the actual dish? So a lot of edible flowers do have like these little guys, this fennel. So it's going to taste like fennel, and it packs a lot of nutrients and things too. You've got borage blossoms that come from cucumber, and they taste like cucumber. So, you know, I also do small bite or like canapé style dishes. And so you want to pack a lot of punch in that little bite.
Canapé will be in the dictionary.
Yes, it will.
Small bite.
Yes, it will. It's very important. But that's just a way to, you know, to kind of bring something pretty and nutritional and an element of the dish into, you know.
We're all about nutritional here at
Yeah,
Creative Mornings
yeah.
Nashville. Feed your soul,
Things that are
feed
good
your
for
body.
you.
If you can do both at the same time, it sounds like that's what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Anybody, living or dead, that you could invite to a dinner party.
That's
It doesn't have to be your number one person, right? But just someone that pops into your head that you're like, yeah, that would be a good dinner party companion.
I mean, go.
She can invite me
Living or
anytime,
dead.
Jason, and it's actually kind of creating some friction between us that she hasn't.
Oh my God. You know, I would love to have a dinner party with Prince.
Ooh.
Excellent idea.
You know, he's Aquarius, or no, he's Pisces. Is he Pisces? Aquarius.
Well, I hope
What
he's
is this?
Pisces because I'm Pisces.
Well, I just feel like his just energy, you know, you just want to do like the extra for
Yeah.
him. And so just have something just so eccentric and so, you know, purple. But just his energy, I would love to be able to have a dinner party that is kind of reminiscent of him and his creativity. He was definitely one of a kind.
You can have him make the playlist.
Oh my God, yes. I would do a whole dinner party based off of Prince songs.
Yeah.
Dishes that were
Oh.
influenced specifically off of his songs.
I'm sure you would if you knew
Yes.
Prince was coming to dinner.
I mean,
yeah.
yes, ass out, raspberry beret, like whole situation.
Well, I think that's as good a place as anywhere to end it.
Ass out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ass out, raspberry beret, and baby, we got a stew going. We have some things to eat here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you especially to Keshia Hay for being here. Check out her online classes. You can do more of this with her online pretty much anytime. Check out her private chefing. If you want to do some sweet dinner party stuff and invite Prince.
Date night in.
Date night in.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
Date night ins are
Thank
great.
you to the whole crew here. Thank you to the Food Sheriff Department for letting us use this incredible space. Thank you to Christy Vergona, who's taking pictures right now. Thanks, Amanda. Everything this morning with our socials. Thanks, Valerie, for helping us to procure the space and for letting us in this morning and just being like wonderful. Jason, thank you for your sweat, stress, and tears. I'm putting this event together. I'm looking at no fewer than 3 cameras right now, and that's not even it. Thank you, Jonathan Jones, for being welcoming to people as they came in and just always being here for us. Can't wait to see you again soon. Love you. Be kind to each other and have a great weekend. See you next time.